Hello, my peeps. This is Joel from Effective Educational Consulting, and today I want to talk to you about 3 nasty editing areas that erase TELPAS writing growth for charter elementary schools with the EB students. Let's get right into it. Area number 1 that can affect that TELPAS writing growth has to do now remember, let me rewind here. This all has to do with the editing part on the TELPAS test, okay? It all has to do with the editing part on the TELPAS test. And so you can cover that basically with 3 different areas, okay? So do not ignore these 3 areas, or that will really affect your scores. So area number 1 is how you start or how you end a sentence. Basically, starting with a capital letter, take it back to kindergarten. Ending how? With ending punctuation. Only 3 ways, right? With a period, with a question mark, and with an exclamation point. Right? There's only 3 choices how to end a sentence. I will suggest that you start there. How are you going to start it correctly? How are you going to end it in the sentence correctly? Take a sentence and read it with a period. How does it sound? Take that same sentence, read it with a question mark ending it. Totally changes the meaning of the sentence, and then replace that question mark, put in an exclamation point. Reread that sentence. It totally changes the meaning of the sentence. That's the first area. How you start and how you end. Second area would be verb conjugations, right? Like I run, you run, he runs, she runs. Okay, verb conjugations. I'll abbreviate. With, here's the trick, with past, present, and future. Okay? So you got to talk about and touch on the area of verb conjugations, which is, like I was saying, like I talk, you talk, he talks, she talks, it talks, we talk, they talk. Okay? And you got to cover those. You got to take it back to kindergarten and cover that understanding. And as you go through different samples and different work, have some type of tool where you can cover those areas, and also whether you're conjugating that verb in the past or in the present or in the future, and how you know so. Okay? So the third area that you don't want to ignore, if you want to really impact your editing portion of the TELPAS writing, is the use of the apostrophe. All right, the use of the apostrophe. I'll abbreviate again. I'll put a little picture. The use of the apostrophe. And there are basically 2 uses. The first use is to show possession, right? Like something belongs to someone. Like this is Paco's apostrophe S car. Whose car? Paco's car. So apostrophe can show possession. Second use is for contractions. Okay? I'll abbreviate again. Contractions, right? Like he's, apostrophe S, he is. We're, apostrophe RE, we are, right? And you go through what those mean, and you run through them during the year, consistently reviewing and learning them, right? And that's the third area that you do not want to ignore to avoid any of those problems on that editing of the TELPAS test. So those are your 3 nasty editing areas for that TELPAS writing portion. Okay, how you start and how you end. 3 different ways, period, question mark, or an exclamation point. Number 2, second area, how are you going to conjugate those verbs with the past, the present, or the future. And then the third nasty editing area is the use of the apostrophe, showing possession or using it in contractions. If you cover those 3 areas, have some type of tool that can cover those areas as you're going through that during the year, you are going to be so surprised on how well your kids do, your EB students do on that editing portion of the talk, of the, I almost said talks, going back, way back, of the TELPAS editing portion on the writing, okay? So pick one of those out. Give it a shot. I don't think you're going to be sorry with what you see. All right. Take care, y'all.